Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Very excited today. I'm in Montreal right now, and coming in from a big comfy couch. As I sat down and chose this as my location to talk to you today, I just remembered watching that show, which I will be totally honest. We probably watched it. By no means was it our top choice show. We only watched it a few times, and there was definitely some parts of it I'm like, watching it, and yet it sucks you right in. Anyway, so we're gonna suck you right in today to Shannon's big comfy couch moment here in Montreal. It's so itchy nose, the allergy things. Awesome. Okay, so business cards. I use business cards still, and for me, they're still the simplest way to convey information. So before we get into what that's all about, how many times have you ever gone to an event or anywhere, and afterwards left going, oh, shoot, like I wish I'd told this person this thing, or they could probably help me with, this event or this problem at work that I'm having, or even just been like, oh, what was their name? I was supposed to connect them to so and so. One of the big ones that gets me is the running into someone like a couple weeks later, and you do I totally met you at that thing, Susie? I don't know. I'm definitely one of those people that good with remembering meeting people. Pretty good at matching faces to locations and when we met, and names flew out the window. Tiny note on names, I'm attending a workshop on June 27th that they said they have a tip for how to remember names at it. So if it's different than what I'm telling you today, or if it adds to it, I'll be sure to come back and let you know, because anything that can help remember people's names, I'm there. So yeah, have we had these moments where you felt like, I wish I should remember this person, or you hear yourself asking like, what's your name again? Sorry. And then just really it's a whole big confusing jumble, and what probably is happening is that you see this big stack of cards somewhere on your desk and go, it's just a waste of space. So what we're going to focus on today is what business cards can do, and how what the magic behind them is. For those of you who don't have the Creating Magical Connections with Business Cards document, let me know. I'll make sure to get it sent to you. I'm going to see, I think I can post documents, like files, in the comments, which I will do if I can. And if not, let me know. If that doesn't work, I'll let you know. And then send me a message and I'll figure out a way to get you the file. I know I'll be sending it out in the e-blast to everyone on my email list tomorrow. So if you're on the email list, yay. If you're not, let's get you on there. Also get the gift 6 Secrets of Cracking the Career Code for those of you who are career seekers. That's all aside. Point being, we're going to talk about the awesomeness of what business cards are, what the magic behind them is. We'll chat about a few different ideas I've had as other options for business cards. And then depending on our time, I might chat about some other things. If not, we'll cycle back to it another time, because some of the systems pieces, that's really what it is, at least the stack of business cards, are these system pieces and follow-up. And we'll say that's also the event I'm going to on June 27th. That's why I'm going to that event. It's all about the following up after the events and the systems for doing that. So while I know some of them, I clearly have a gap, because I will self-admit that the follow-up, that's pretty much my biggest gap right now, is the actually following up. So I always want to, and that just doesn't happen. So enough about that. Let's get into so why this happens, because what we're talking about is we're talking about it in relation to connecting to people at events and sharing cards. It's really about connecting to humans, and that's what the blog post that's coming out tomorrow is. I'm sharing an article that takes it away from cards and more just to workplace things. So this is the kind of 101 on communication, and let's just get into it. So, okay. So what we've got here is the KAV principle. So yes, as I'm in a hotel, I have lack of poster board like I did last week, or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was. So hopefully this works for you. So what we got at the top, we've got kinesthetic. So 40% of the population are kinesthetic people. It means that the tactile, the feeling, the vibing with people is really, really important to them. And so what a business card does is literally, it physically gives them a physical thing to hold on to. They go, oh, I met you. This is also where you'll get huggers. A lot of kinesthetic, like the hugging, the touching, shaking hands is also a really big thing for kinesthetics, that initial human connection. And so, hello, shake their hand, good physical touch. Do a good handshake. None of these limp wrist pieces of crap. Like, come on, solid handshake. Ladies, we can do it too. There's none of this power grab, just solid, have a presence, show up. Good aside. So handshake, and then at the end is this card that they have as a physical reminder. That's 40% of the population need that physical piece. Now next we have auditory. Actually, I'm going to stick to visual. Because the other 40% of the population is visual, which means whatever they see, the pictures they have, that's going to be most important to them. And that's why my recommendation, which I got from mentors, is to actually put your photo on your business card. Now, someone did mention to me once, like, oh, it's kind of like a real estate card. Well, does that mean it's a bad thing? Or just that real estate professionals have realized that it's about, like, there's so many of them, so it's super important that people know who they are so they can distinguish themselves from everybody else. So you remember them, their face, their style, how you interacted with them, and you can set up your card in a way that makes it work for you. So many people put their faces on business cards now, and honestly, I love it. Anytime I get a card with someone's face on, I'm like, yes, thank you, because I'm going to match that easier. So I have the card in my hand, I'm looking at the person and go, yeah, I remember this human. And I can remember so much more about what we talked about, and if I liked them, if I didn't like them, all that information will come so much more flooding back when there's that photo. Beyond that, obviously, just the aesthetic, like making your card look pretty, will matter. Excellent. And then last, we've got auditory, so the sounds. Now, I mean, unless you start handing out digital cards, which I think could be so cool if that happens, or maybe little video clips to people. Oh, that might be a good idea, actually. Anyways, so unless that's happening, what's really happening with the business cards is there's a little bit of, as they read the information and they see your photo, they can remember the sound of your voice. So they're more like trigger ones. So unfortunately, auditory doesn't fit in as much with business cards. And so that's why I love, maybe like the birthday cards that have a little song. You can start doing little song ones that, open up and it's like, hello, my name is Shannon and I empower young professionals who have been busting their butts and just are now going like, is this it? Like, is this all I've got? So maybe something like that can go in your card. That's kind of a cool idea. I might look into that one. Anyways, so back to this. And then the one I didn't put on the little piece of paper because I didn't want to crowd it. But of this 20%, 20% of that, so about, I think it's 4% overall, are auditory digitals. And those are the people who care about the details. So despite the fact that everyone calls all engineers, and being an engineering graduate myself, all engineers are detailed people, and we are, because it's the profession, we've learned those skills. It's actually 4% of the population whose default strategies go to the details. And so that's the people who just care about the fact that your phone number's on their card and we're good to go. Excellent. So that's why cards, because it crosses all these areas, which gets it to 100%, or at least 96%, 86% if we forget about the auditory. And then we're going to get some of them because, like I said, they remember that they met you, they remember the sound of your voice. So that's how we do 100% fact that the people with your card are going to remember who you are. And by getting cards from other people, you have a better chance of remembering who they are. And then that leads us into these follow-up strategies, which we will tackle another time. It's developing a system, and again, after the 27th, if I learn anything super awesome other than just do it, put them in a database and go, I will share it here for sure. That follow-up, it's the gold of anything. And this isn't just about business and making career connections. This is the business in anything. Like if you go to a festival and you make a new friend and you're like, hey, let's hang out, just hang out. Anyways, so more on that later. So yeah, today, this is why cards, something that's kinesthetic that people can hold on to. They get triggered to remember the sound of your voice, and a picture so they can see you. And so that's where when we have they just add them to Facebook or just add them to LinkedIn. Personally, I feel like a lot of, one, there's no kinesthetic there. It's completely abstract. And one of the things for kinesthetic people is even if we understand technology, there's a gap towards wanting to use it because we want that, as much as it's visuals are the people who care about seeing the physical face. For kinesthetic people, they need to be able to see your body and know that you're being able. So video calls are really great because they can at least sense your realness beyond just a phone call where it's just a voice at the end of the line, which is one of the reasons I do Zoom calls as much as possible when you want to chat with me and have a chat so that we can both physically know we're there, we can see each other's faces, and obviously hear voices, covering all of the KAV. So with business cards, I say just use them. I am playing around with the idea of doing stickers. They're a little bit, honestly, they're a little bit more work, and I haven't found something that works completely solidly for me yet. And there's always some cool things with cards that change you can change the texture and the colors and the material even to make them a little bit more fun. So I will leave you with that. If you have other ideas for alternatives to business cards that cover all of these areas, I'd love to hear it. I'm also open to hearing new ideas, things that work. And in this instance, at this point, to me, it's a time-honored method of connecting with people such they remember your connection, they remember who you are, and it's possible to actually connect and follow up with them later. So have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and we'll get you some more resources on this. And more to come. All right, have a great Wednesday.